Do you know how to finger an Asian woman the right way? Well, let's dive into it, shall we? Hello there, my name is Sarah. Are you men ready to discover the beauty of Asian women and the wonders that our world has to offer? If your answer is yes, then you've come to the right place. You see, my name is Sarah, and I welcome you to join us here at Passport Journey. Now, in this episode, we will discover the pleasure of fingering an Asian woman step by step the right way. And I cannot overstate the true power of a man's hands. I want to begin by saying, even if you think you are a fingering master when it comes to women, a lot of men get this wrong, because when you finger a woman the right way, it is the best, most pleasurable experience a woman can ever have. I mean, I'm really getting goosebumps just talking about this. You can also change the intensity of pleasuring an Asian woman depending on where you put your fingers. I mean, putting in one finger versus 3 fingers is a very different experience. Also, your fingers can bend and move in ways that your penis or a vibrator cannot. You guys just really need to know what to do with your fingers and where to put them. So right now I'm going to tell you exactly how Asian women really want and need to be fingered. And I broke it down in detail from warm-up all the way to climax, so make sure to stay until the end before we know being able to make her come with your fingers is the holy grail of using your hands. So where do so many guys get fingering the Asian woman wrong? Especially if we are talking about a nice small Asian body. First, you should prep yourself and warm her up. Most of you young and inexperienced guys don't know the importance of the warm-up period for Asian women. You guys also don't understand that you can start doing little but very important things like washing your hands and cutting your nails before you start fingering a woman. And of course, if you have any open sores or cuts on your hand, then use a barrier. Now, it's important to remember this, guys, because you know that when you are on the heat of the moment and you have dirty fingers during sex, they often end up in other places. You know, one of the worst things you can do to a woman is scratch her on the inside, especially with the sexual moves I'm going to share with you, because we are going to get a little aggressive, and nothing is worse than being fingered by a guy and she start to bleed because of your nails inside of her. So remember, guys, a small scratch on the inside of her can turn into something more serious, so be careful with her. About the warm-up, now most of you guys think a woman is like an oven. She needs to preheat before you can start cooking anything inside of her. But for most women, the best part of sex is actually the build-up and anticipation, especially when the woman is desperate for some kind of skin-to-skin contact. Remember this, guys. You men fall in love with what you see. However, women fall in love by what they hear. This is why when you men start talking about the things you have and the things you are able to do, it really turns women on. Now, if you really want to become the master of the finger, you need to learn how to arouse a woman without going deep inside of her just yet, like kissing her neck, holding her hand, putting your arm around her, or sitting her on your lap. Run your hands around her breast and gently touch her inner thighs. Skin-to-skin contact is always the first step to arousing a woman if you plan on going to the next step. But also when you are with her, your job is to make her feel like she is the most important person in your life. Learn to take your time when you are caressing her, so you can work your way down to her fun parts. Make her desperate for you to take off her panties. Gently touch her over her underwear and her bra. And trust me, when you do this, she will be ready to explode before you know it. Now in step 2, go really slow. You want to see her breathing more heavily and slowly tilting her head back. While this is going on, you may notice she is grabbing your hand and putting it over her kitty cat area. Now, you guys probably think this is the time to take off your pants and stick your banana inside of her as hard as you can, right? Wrong. Just continue to be gentle and slow while touching her. Remember, you don't want build up all this anticipation just so it can come crashing down so quickly. The key is to learn to layer anticipation on anticipation so you can get her to that point where she will be begging you for some action. Also, when you are doing a lot of foreplay, the woman may tell you when she is ready for you to go deep inside her. Now, when you get to this point, you want to gently touch the outside of her vaginal area. Start with an up and down motion slowly. You also can start kissing, sucking, and licking the most centered part of her vagina. But be sure to take things slow. Then take your index finger and gently make small circles around her vagina area, which is a very sensitive part of her body. Show her that you really want to explore her body and you really want to know every inch of her. Now, the art of going slow. Okay, so you've teased her to the point where she is literally going to explode if you don't touch her. After taking your time with arousing her, at this point she will be probably ready for action now. But don't stop there. Let's talk about hitting the Asian G-spot. Stimulate her G-spot is an art all in itself. So, the G-spot is a small, spongy area inside of her vagina on the backside of her clitoris, usually like 1 to 2 and 1/2 inches inside of her body by doing the come here motion. When doing this motion, you're actually already touching on her G-spot, and that's why this feels so good to women. But stimulating this area really particularly is going to get her closer and closer to having that explosion. And generally the best way to do that is to continue the come hither motion but with additional pressure and speed. So right now, this is the time to start bringing things in a little bit more intensely. Also, as you alternate more and more, you can make her clitoris become more wet and moist by moving your thumb gently up against her. If you like going down on her, here's some tips you can use. Use your mouth and begin to very gently lick and suck and stroke her clitoris with your tongue inside and out. And for sure, you may want to use your thumb sometimes. You may want to go for the G-spot, or you may want to try and make her squirt. Sometimes you may just want to do oral on her. Other times you may just feel like sticking her. It all depends on your preferences, but continue to pay attention to the small reactions. Continue to watch what she's doing and gauge if you have the tempo and the pressure right. Now, when in doubt of if she wants harder or faster or softer or anything else, you can just ask her at this point. If she's into it, and you are only using one finger, you might even add a second or third finger. First, always look at her face and be sure if she is comfortable with each move you're doing. The reason why is because different women like different sensations, and if you're going in with 3 fingers, then I recommend that you keep them in like a little triangle. Of course, it's a little harder to bend, but sometimes the sensation of being full can make up for the lack of finger dexterity. You could even grab a toy and use that in her vagina instead of your hand if your hand is starting to cramp up. Try to use a toy that she likes and use it gently around her sensitive area. Now, fingering is only the tip of the iceberg. When done the right way, this technique has the power to make a deeper connection of emotional and intimacy for both parties. And I'm sure your Asian woman will really appreciate it. If you are new here, you enjoy my content, and I've given you some value. All I ask is, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for our newest videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, this is Sarah from Passport Journey saying, I wish you happy trails, safe travels and good luck fingering your beautiful Asian woman.